As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.
I don't know why people think marriage is a bigger commitment than having a kid with somebody. Queen Naja was recently on a podcast and she was like, when she was younger, when her and Clarence first got together, she was so eager to get married and she was going around like, oh, I want to be married. Oh, I want to be married. She's like, now that I'm older and, I'm a mom, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I don't even know, like, am I ready to be a wife? She's like, that's a whole, like, duty. Just like being a mom, that's a whole nother commitment. I think having a kid is a bigger commitment than getting married to someone.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
You are forever tied to a person that you have a kid with. Y'all are locked in. People be like, oh, it's, I just got to deal with the baby mama or baby daddy for 18 years. No, forever. While this human that y'all created is alive, y'all will forever be entangled. But then when you talk about marriage, people are like, oh, it's such a big commitment. I don't know if I'm ready for that. What's bigger than having a damn kid?
Having a child with someone is the marriage. Once that life is created, the union is formed. I find it so hard to believe that people think the marriage is more of a commitment. You can divorce your spouse, but you can't divorce your kids. Choosing the woman to have your kids is the biggest decision you can make in your life. One that can make or break your legacy. Let's take a look at the comment section. Thank you. Like, I don't understand it. If you get a divorce, you can literally never see that person again and do all communication through lawyer. With a kid, they'll be forever in your life. Way bigger. Yeah, it's easy to understand that. But I guess when you're young, you don't really see the future. You don't really get that whole picture. I definitely wouldn't want a child unless I was married. I can't do the baby mama stuff. Children are a huge commitment. Yeah, that was actually why marriage was formed in the first place. It's the union of a family, not just two individuals. I don't care how many times I said this. I'd rather marry the wrong person 1,000 times than have a baby with the wrong person. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, 1,000 people, good chance that you might never see these people ever again. But when you have a child with someone, the world has a interesting way of putting you guys in the same room with each other. So you're always going to be connected. So it's definitely more of a commitment long term. On to the next.
That's what I call a chain reaction.
Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I strongly dislike when black people get on here talking about, oh, why are y'all even messing with white people? Why are y'all even in the same spaces as white people? Yada, yada, yada. Do we not live in America? Like, it's that same argument of people who would go to a HBCU and bash black people that went to PWIs. Like, unfortunately, America is not just black people. America is not just us. Even if we want it to be, at the end of the day, especially if you're going for certain opportunities, especially if you want to be successful here in America, it's structured in a way where you're going to have to run into them at some point in time. If you work in corporate, if you're a part of any type of industry that's hot here in America, more than likely you're going to be surrounded by a majority of them. So even my videos on my page come from my experiences being around them. If I could live a life where I was only surrounded by people that look like me, trust me, I would in a heartbeat. But that's not everybody's reality. Like, it's certain ideologies that I have to break down for myself to feel comfortable being a black woman surrounded by them in 2025. Like,
unfortunately, black people are pretty racist. The problem with our racism is that we don't even think that we're racist. A permanent victim mindset has brainwashed us to see white people as the enemy. It's an ignorance that has us stuck. Can't move forward because we're always looking back. I don't care what color your skin is. As long as we share the same values and you treat me with respect, you're good people in my books. Let's take a look at the comment section. Y'all are racist as fuck. Yes, it's true. That is true. But I think it's because we get encouraged to be racist. Like, for instance, if I make a white joke, everybody laughs. But if a white person makes a black joke, he's canceled, right? So it's one of those things. You can work with them, and that's it.
You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
Well, thank you for your permission. You see, that's the problem with black people. You get to say stuff like that, and you don't even think that you're being racist. But if a white person said that about you, you'd be all up in arms about it. You know, it's a double standard that needs to end because it keeps us dumb and it keeps us stationary. On to the next.
That's what I call a chain reaction.
I just heard a clip of Taraji Henson saying that she does not wish being a single mom on her worst enemy. Girl, let me tell you something. She just lost a fan. Stop telling women that. I am so tired. And look, everyone's experience is everyone's experience. And yes, single motherhood is hard. You get tired. You have no help. It is hard. But you know what's even worse than that? Having a grown man laying next to you and you are still the only one doing everything for those children.
You serious?
But you picked that guy. You're the one who picked that guy and gave him a baby. So it's your fault.
I promise you, it's way worse. And I really get tired of people thinking and believing and convincing other people that the grass is always greener, because it's not. Just because you have a man does not mean you have a partner. Just because there is somebody else living in the home does not mean your life is any easier. In many cases, they make it 10 times harder.
So that's why it's key to pick the good guy instead of chasing the bad boy.
They make themselves like another child, another dependent, another person you have to clean up after, cook for, and make big decisions for, except this time you have to stroke their ego and make them feel like they're the leader and the boss. That's a million times harder than being a single mom.
Here we go again.
So if you want to get on this internet and be a light and a voice for women, please speak for yourself. Okay. There's a lot of women right now that are suffering in silence, but because society has told them that they are supposed to have a man in the house, they keep this man there and he's making her motherhood hell. And I'm not advocating single parent homes. No one actually chooses that.
So that was a lie.
But this illusion and this belief that just because you have a man, just because you have a man living in the house, that your life is easier, that's not always the case. Some of us are living our very best lives as single parents.
Huh?
Okay. All right. You're living your best life. But what about your kids, though?
Now, if God wants to bless me with a partner one day, maybe. But as of now, I am enjoying my life.
This lady had to bring up the worst case scenario. But what about the good man that helps out and is vital to the home? Look at it objectively. Is it harder being a single mom? Yes. So that's all you need to understand. We don't want to hear about how you picked a bum. This doesn't apply to all men. So take accountability and move on. Okay? Take a look at the comment section. I think she means why set yourself up for struggle and hardship. I think she understands that, but she's just triggered and she's just taking everything personal. She didn't say the grass was greener. She didn't say she wants a man next to her. I agree with her. Yeah, because it's not that controversial of a take. She wouldn't wish single mom on her worst enemies because she knows how hard it is. It is what it is. Sorry, I do not agree. I feel the same way as she does. Yeah, because it's common sense and you're not triggered. I don't think that's what she meant. The reality is having a partnership is always better for the child and easier on you. That's plain common sense right there. You know, it's two's better than one. It's easier to obviously raise a child with a partner instead of doing it by yourself. You know, she's just triggered because she obviously went through some kind of drama with her baby dad. But not every scenario is like yours. There are good men out there that will help. On to the next.
That's what I call a chain reaction.
Manifest my own destiny. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the perfect recipe. May they remember me, my words will live on. I'm guided by your energy, your flame, hold it close to you. Check out my melodies. It's the media that's been leading you. I'll show you a thing. Misdirection was the message, they don't want you to win.
As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.